Oh, wow. What a crazy moment here, folks. We got this. I've been losing subs of both to my channels, and my anonymous minority network has lost two subs, uh, from 49 to 47, and this channel has lost five subs, and I I guess it doesn't end as what they think, what we think. There is a lot of YouTubers out there, content creators that do speak one's mind. I think it's the perfect thing. That we all speak our mind. I know that not everybody likes what I do. Um, um, I think it's more on why are they so afraid of someone speaking their mind. I think it's the best thing because we all have a right to do that. We all have a right to have an idea. I mean, if you're critical of the way um of someone not liking the way you have an opinion or a thought or idea, or talk about a certain thing, like a little bit ago, I talked about how a federal judge gave Donald Trump a huge loss. A huge loss, a huge judicial loss. Um, because the thing is, when you think about, I mean, we all have an opinion. We all have opinions on things. And some may like it, some may not like it, some may think it's too extreme, too dangerous to have an opinion on. That's fine. That's fine. But the thing is, um, we all have a right to have an opinion, have a thought, have a, you know. Um, um, so the thing is, um, I think it's more on. See here. See here. Okay. Let's have. Okay. See here. We're going to do this. we're going to do a double duty here. Double duty here on Rumble and YouTube. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Oh shit! There we go. Make it clear that we're gonna. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. One's opinion can be dangerous. One's thought can be scary, right? Now, why is it that when you're doing a video and you have an idea, an opinion, or thought or whatnot, when you speak your mind, we do it to make a point. Okay, we all have this thing of speaking our minds. All right, we're gonna go live on Rumble. Okay. Okay. We're here on Rumble. Okay, we're here on Rumble and YouTube here. We're gonna do double duty here. We're about 6 minutes in. We're about 8 seconds in on Rumble. So again, um, I'm Reverend Auto here on Rumble and YouTube doing double duty here. Um, one's opinion can be dangerous. I'm going to show this here real quick. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to Facebook real quick. And let's see here. So it'll be okay, we're gonna go back on here. Okay. Now it's very ironic that some people get so offended so easily over an idea or thought or an opinion. Now, even if you have an opinion, okay, people will get kind of like, uh, why are you being offensive? Your opinion it is offensive. It insults me. It offends me. Um, um, well, the thing is, like, okay, why are you so offended when someone has a thought, idea, an opinion, or something to get off their chest or speak their mind? But when you speak your shit, um, um, they get people like you're okay, but you want people to hear your opinion, your thoughts and whatnot, but yet you don't want anybody to hear both sides. You only hear what. Okay, I got the here. Okay. Now it's like here you're on social media, right? Social media, like say you're on YouTube or Meta or I mean anything from Twitter, X to TikTok to Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, or any other alternative, or any of the alternative ones like Minds, Gab, MeWe, Mastodon, Powergetter, all that shit. And you have this, you want to share your thoughts. Everybody, you want to jump in? You want to join? Come on up, man. On the Price is Right, man. Come on down. You're on the Price is Right. I got room for you. One more up here, man. If you want to join, man. Come on up, brother. Come on up, man. Come on up. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, you can do it while you're eating, man. You can do it, man. It doesn't matter if you're eating a hot dog or top ramen soup, man. Come on up here, man. You're good. All right. Um, now, I, I, I talked. I'm talking about, um, I'm being stripped of subscribers because by YouTube. Okay, it never ends. Even though they're making us thinking, okay, well, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna let you bring back your old channel that was gone. That's fine. That's fine. This channel has been used for 3 years until this past August. That's August. Past July. And almost, man, almost, dude. I was at 8:15, brother, and then they started to lower it down, man. I'm at 8:10, brother. 8:10. I'm trying to hit 1,000, man, but YouTube is kind of being a digger now. So here on Rumble, what I'm doing here on Rumble and YouTube. Look, we all have a right to an opinion. We all have a right to a thought. We all have a right to share an idea, but don't give much details. If you want to speak our mind, we do that. If you want to get something off our chest, we do that. But in some cases, people do get offended. Why do you get offended? If you're offended, nothing happens to you, right? Nothing. So what if you're offended? Nothing happens. Okay, nothing happens, right? I would do a live on YouTube. I'll do a live. I get these weird. I get people that like me they'll come on here and chat and whatnot, and they'll stay for a good 20 minutes, talk, and whatnot, having a really cool conversation, like Chris Zero and myself, we've been friends for a long time, a very very long time, and there's times we'll sit down, have a pretty good conversation about the hive mind of consciousness and shit, man. All kinds of good stuff. Very important stuff that Big Brother or the machine don't want us to talk about because it's too dangerous. It's too evil. It might cause people to riot and blow up the earth, dude. No. Joke, folks. Martian. I am here to blow up the earth. Oh, uh, yeah. Now, now the thing is, I look the way I talk. I do stutter. Okay, I do stutter. Okay, I admit that. I have Tourette syndrome. I have Tourette syndrome, and I was diagnosed at 14 with Tourette syndrome, and I've dealt with bullies. I've dealt with a lot of dumbasses in school. Real fuck ups in life, and I started to really hold stuff in, bottle it all up, until I balled up too much, and then all of a sudden I explode on anybody. Don't matter who it is. So I came onto YouTube back in 2011. 15 years. It'll be 15 years this November. 15 years. And YouTube was kind of like my therapy because it helps me. It helped me with the way I talk. It helps me um, really talk to people, like again, me and Chris Zero, we've had conversations over the years, off and on, and it was good. I mean, all kinds of stuff, and there's times that we've had our disagreements, but yet we talk about it. We sit down and we talk about you know, especially the dudes talking out, how kind of mend the fence a little bit, kind of keep things cool, still my brother, still my brother, love him to death. He's my brother, I've met people here on YouTube. I met a lot of people, you name it. I even met Tyler Baggins, T-Bag, 3 years ago during a right table discussion. Funny guy, man, very very funny guy. Stand-up comedian. Got into wrestling a little bit here and there, a little independent wrestling, very funny guy. It's what certain platforms that and man, corporate man. I mean, we've had, I mean, really good conversation, but we even had important ones where something happened, and hey, brother,
Yo.
I did, man.
Oh, I exist, man. You know me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my good brother in arms, Chris Zero. We are doing double duty here on Rumble and YouTube. He's here on YouTube, but I'm at Rumble. It's a good honor to have him, man. Issue we're having right now again is that YouTube is stripping me of my subs for speaking my mind, man. Really.
I agree with that statement because it was work for me to give me 1 second to make sure I don't, for me to get over 300, man. I sat at like 280 forever. And what I literally had to do was go into a whole nother community, the Scratchers community, the Ticket Scratcher community. And that helped my numbers a little bit. But it's basically you walking around to other lives. It's not you interacting on YouTube that gets you subs. It's you walking around to other lives. And then on top of that, daggone well that people are subscribing to you, but they're not giving them the subscription. Because it took me forever to get that 25, where I was at 280, now I'm at 305. And I even seen my numbers go up and down. It even tells me I lost 3 subscribers, but I gained 8 subscribers. I lost 5 subscribers, but I gained 3 subscribers and stuff like that. It's like, what is going on here?
When I started using this channel again after 3 years, I was at 607. And I started to really grow fast, like boom, 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 boom. And I got 22 subs in one night. I would get 10, 12, 14, 16. The most I got was like 22 subs in one night.
But think about it. I don't remember who said it, but if you're not pissing somebody off, you're not doing something right.
Yeah. And it's like, I've had issues where we ran a test for like almost 2 hours to check on YouTube's algorithm thing, and
I remember doing a playlist about it. It was gather your dots before, collect your dots before you arrange them. That whole playlist, we made a whole playlist out of it, and we were literally pushing the limits of the YouTube algorithm until they shut us down for merely our words. Because it wasn't like a normal ghost ship where we come on, we play music for like 30 minutes, we talk for like 30, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and then we have a 30-minute or so outro. where we actually
Yeah.
legitimately get hit with a copyright because we're using music. Number one, that's on YouTube, already passed through the YouTube algorithm. Oh, that's correct, is a shout out to a video on my other channel that literally breaks down the YouTube contract and turns you into a plaintiff instead of a defendant whenever you get copyright on your screen for YouTube videos that other people have showed on YouTube because it's already, and that's the whole thing. We literally had YouTube shut us down. I think it was 5 times because of our mere words that we were talking. And it wasn't that we were spreading disinformation or talking about GW or talking about the elite, the 1%, etc. No, we were having a scientific conversation about how reality works, which was the beginning of how it all started out, where we referenced the Mandela effect, but we didn't stew in the Mandela effect. We went at a broader scope where we Occam's razor and Newton's flaming laser sword at the thought of the Mandela effect. And we basically came to the conclusion that, yeah, we have to be in a simulation. We have to be within a multiverse. There has to be some kind of scientific explanation to explain what's going on, because you know me, I can't just accept God did it and move along. I need a better answer than God did it.
You need a source, and not from a third party, because third parties only give you a tidbit. And if you ask where you got it from, over here. But you're like, you want to know the source. You know, you want to know where the horse is at and the words of the horse.
Yeah, I wanted to know the water that the horse was drinking from so I can do my personal test on the lake the horse was drinking from to see why we're beating this dead horse.
I've came back to this channel after 3 years, and I was lucky enough that it wasn't gone permanently. I was able to have it brought back. Now, my original channel that I started in 2011, that's gone, permanently gone. It ain't coming back.
Oh yeah, that one is sunk the boat.
That one is dead.
I forgot what video you put out that made that sink the boat, but you was out there on the front lines talking smack about everybody, but it wasn't smack. It was like you was bringing evidence to the table, files on top of files, and it was right after Blowvid that you got shut down because we was literally in the trenches at that point in time.
I was bringing the paper tactical nuke, basically, per se. Taking it from how you say the game, Modern Warfare. Called it Modern Warfare,
Because we both know that those in power, and don't look at us like we don't know what they were talking about. The infamous they is those in power. You've taken the files from the CIA and all them documents just like I have and went through them about Majestic 12, Project Philadelphia, Project Montauk, Project Pegasus, etc. down the line, and knowing for a fact that obviously they're still doing something this day and age that they're not being fully transparent about.
I was talking about the Nuremberg Code, the Nuremberg Code that was enacted in after World War II when they did the Nuremberg trials, and because of a Nazi doctor, a woman, did these experiments on the Jews in the camps, which was against the Geneva Convention, and I got hit with a strike until I was reading the definition of the Nuremberg Code and what the 10 points meant. And I was reading it in front of the camera, and
you was literally reading from a document that was actually released to the public, and they shut you down.
No. When I read it, they left me alone. When I talked about it, they hit me. And I showed and I showed what like I'll do this. I'm gonna read it and then show, read it then show.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know,
like you're hiding the information. It's not like the information is hidden. It's like you can go find this information yourself. And that's what it comes down to. It's
oh
not
yeah,
that you need to know. It's the fact that you need to know things before you can comprehend the next step. It goes along the example of you have to know what one is before you can say 1+1 = 2. You have to understand how you got to
exactly.
2 to understand that 2+2 and 2 × 2 = 4, or that's going to screw with your head. And then you have to, once you get all that established, you come into a² + b² = c², the Pythagorean theorem as an example. You can't just go from what is 1 to a² + b². And then you can't jump to
Exactly.
trigonometry from there. It's a need to know. It's not that we're keeping information from anybody. It's that we know throwing somebody into the deep end doesn't always work.
No, um, but there has been over the years here on YouTube and other platforms that they received a strike. They got hit with a community guidelines, all that shit. And I remember when Chester Bennington died, and I was like, I played a song, and I put a tribute to Chester Bennington, and I played a song. It was like a good 4 minute song, and I mean I was lucky. I was like I was lucky, and I talked about a guy, how he was a great town singer, very talented guy. But like him, Chris Cornell, another voice of the '90s, gone. Very talented singer, very also gone, same way. But
I still can't remember the third name on that list of Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, and somebody else was on the verge of releasing Pizzagate before they were found in the situations that they were found in. As well as Trevor Moore is another grand example of telling us things through the satire of music that they literally did bad things to him in the same manner of what we're talking about here. Because they know, those in power knows that there are people that know because they have blackmail on them people. Why do you think it's coming out now about the Epstein's files? Because that's everything behind it. That's basically what we're talking about, where they have blackmail material on a lot of individuals. We can't name names, but just know that it's everybody that has ever rose to any kind of icon status or made it up in the world beyond the middle class wall, that they literally
exactly,
have
exactly.
blackmail. Go ahead.
I'll also uh, on here a little bit ago talking about a case where Donald Trump back in December 22nd of last month that he halted. He forced a company to halt a construction of wind farms that was going to be for Rhode Island and Connecticut, and he halted that, saying he will not have wind farms being built in federal ocean. Like, it ain't federal; it's just the ocean. It's
Isn't there like
because
a 10-mile out from the coast or something like that is still considered national waters until you get to international waters? Something like that.
um, I just say that as just the ocean, just the ocean. So he ended up forcing a company to halt the building of 65 wind farm, a wind farm.
A windmill isn't going to power anything. You can have a windmill barely powers a single residence. So 1,000 windmills isn't going to power a metropolis. It's that simple.
Um, Now, I was talking about how a developer, a offshore wind developer, prevails in court as Trump says the U.S. will not approve any windmill. Okay, okay, time out, time out, time out. I live in California. Okay, I live in California. There are wind farms up north and down south. Okay, well, there's a wind farm in Southern California as well as Northern California. Those been there for years, even before Trump ran for office. Okay, so he ended up thinking if it would violate national security, right? The Interior Department cited unspecified national security concerns from classified Defense Department material about military radar clutter identified in November, which BOEM, learned of mid-November, but acted on weeks later. Okay. Now, the thing is, it did not violate anything. It was supposed to be for Connecticut and Rhode Island to protect the ratepayers' bill savings. Even the money ruling, developer faced time crunch to finish the nearly $6 million wind farm by October 1st of this year. With delivery required on January of next year, according to court filings. And I talked about that, and like I had what 200, what 811 or 812. All of a sudden, I'm down to 810. Like, dude, it's here on Ground News. Look here, Ground News. No, and all of a sudden, I lost what?
My bad. I just fact checked myself, and one windmill can power between 300 to 600 houses. But honestly, that's whenever the wind's blowing. If the wind's not blowing, they're pulling from the battery bank. And so that just basically means, like I just said, 1,000 isn't going to give power to a metropolis for.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here.
Yeah. But I mean, we can sit here for hours on end. You and I. We can talk about anything scientific, right? Anything like the hive mind thing. All the consciousness and whatnot. The 10D.
Yeah, the collective versus duality that's been misconstrued as Christ and Luciferian. But go ahead.
We could talk about that for hours on end, even for days on end, nonstop.
But that's definitely trigonometry level stuff. And people are going to be looking at us like we're crazy.
Oh yeah, but it would be like the best conversation we had in a long time, and yet it didn't matter if we have 100 or 100,000 viewers watching. We would still get hit with a strike or a
warning underneath that we spoke about something we wasn't allowed to, and we didn't fact check ourselves whenever we was speaking about said thing.
Yeah, or we're gonna be hit with a community guideline or misinformation or mythical misinformation. Like
exactly, like we have to talk about pole shifts as magnetic storms in order to not get struck with something. And that might, just because I said certain key words in that last sentence, we might get a strike or leading by misinformation. No, we're explaining what we have to say, the way we have to dumb down our language and misrepresent what we're actually stating just to make the YouTube algorithm satisfied.
Exactly. It's just that they're afraid, right? They are afraid of anybody, right? Anybody. Okay. Now the thing is, why are you offended? Okay? If you're offended, nothing happens to you. Okay? Before you think about getting offended, how about just stop, sit down, put on your thinking cap, clean the shit from your ears and eyeballs, and actually shut the fuck up, watch, and listen. Because thing is, we can sit here, talk about important shit, and hoping somebody would actually have the common sense to sit down and listen and think. Okay? Because right
To
now,
have personal discernment over what we're stating, go look it up themselves instead of, where's your proof? Where's your proof? How about you go do the research that we did our first two decades of our life to comprehend why I'm sitting here in this bunk bed having a conversation with you right now? That's my proof. You go through the documents that I went through and was drilled into me.
here's another example. Okay, recently there's a shooting in Minneapolis, right? Minneapolis somewhere, and a woman was in her minivan, and this was a shooting that she was a victim of a shooting by ICE. Okay, there a lot of back and forth, uh, verbal jab, and Tim and I we did a roundtable discussion about it.
I think I was there. I apologize, but I think I was there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I tried to type something in the chat, but they didn't like what I was typing in the chat. So, basically, those of us who have stepped back long enough and are able to look at these things and realize what's going on. Number one, this is a distraction from the Tim Waltz Leering Centers. Number two,
Yeah. Yeah.
those of us who were around whenever that website to recruit crisis actors, I don't know what the proper term on their side is for what a crisis actor is, but yeah, many of individuals took screenshots and they state that these two were on there because you're getting paid to be in a public location causing a disturbance that is considered a protest, which can escalate to a riot if somebody farted the wrong direction.
They are getting paid. They are getting paid to do this, And the guy that fired the round into the van, he even suffered some injuries as well. Because
yes, I have video footage of like 3 different angles of that. He was impacted at the same split second that he started discharging. So therefore it makes it a lawful action.
Very lawful in self-defense. But yet they're sitting there like this. They're sitting there like this, hoping to get their side head first before it's too late. Well, this here may only get you in a more deeper trouble because the thing is, if you're doing this to help the mainstream media flip and twist shit, look, it's going to be a very cold day.
That was me sending you the link of the video that has like 4 different. It's this guy talking through it. It's his page, but it shows like 4 different.
Nick the lawyer.
Yeah, it shows you like 4 different angles of what happened that day. But like I've stated, this is merely a distraction from the scandal that just went on about the Somalian Leering Centers and making Tim Waltz, quote, a good guy in the light. You get my point? Because he's all heartbroken over what happened. But we know that we've been in the resistance long enough to realize that this is a distraction from the money that just went nowhere.
Okay, tomorrow morning, Tin Man's going to do Tin Man TV, and the title of the Tin Man TV is Trump going after Greenland, and is Trump an Antichrist?
Okay, I heard Tin Man TV, and that was whenever I my brain turned off from listening. What did you say after Tin Man TV? My bad.
I'll be on Tin Man TV tomorrow morning, and the topic is Trump going after Greenland, and is Trump the Antichrist?
The former, I cannot confirm nor deny that it will be as simple as taking a flag down a pole and running a flag up a pole of taking Greenland for America. Number two, you Christians really need to get your heads out of your asses. And I mean that as offensively as I can mean it. Christians need to take their heads out of their asses, because I'll tell you right now, if anybody was the fucking Antichrist, it'll be in your fucking face.
Yeah.
It'll be obvious. It wouldn't be a question.
No, I mean it's really an actual. I mean it's really. Do I think he is? I don't know. I think more. I think of it more that he's an asshole, and he's really getting ego.
I can agree with that statement. I can agree that I'm not a Trumper, but I'm not against Trump, but I'm not a Trumper. I can state the same thing that everybody else has stated. I actually have money in my pocket. Not much, because I don't get much, but there's actually money left over.
Yeah.
It's like maybe $10, $15, but hey, that's better than zero or broke.
What's pissing me off about that is about the guy is he's letting his ego, really override his common sense here, because Greenland is protected by the Kingdom of Denmark. Okay, that's like the Falkland Islands is protected by the Kingdom of the UK, of the royal family. In England. You just can't raid in a place protected by royalty. Okay, the kingdom by kingdom. Okay, here's a guy. Here's a billionaire who's a commoner who wants
Proletarian.
Who wants to take over an island that's protected by the Kingdom of Denmark. Plus, the people of Greenland say, we're going to stick with Denmark. And at least they're nicer, and at least we're protected.
The way I look at it is that's going to be a whole lot of talk and a whole lot of paperwork. And it's not, like I said, it's not going to be a physically aggressive action if there is any action taken. There'll be a lot of talks, a lot of discussions, and honestly, personally, I think it's the same thing that John was talking about before about a missile defense system, that he can expand the missile defense system, and that's what it's about. It's not Trump's going in and taking over Greenland, like Greenland's going to become another American territory.
He says we got to get it before Russia and China does. Well, here's the thing. Russia don't want Iceland. That's the least thing on their mind. That's that's the thing. China don't want Iceland. Okay. Now the thing
China is more worried. Excuse me, but yeah, China is more worried about Thailand, and Russia is more worried about China. They're not worried about Greenland.
No. Look, you have this Republican guy bringing up a legislation to make Iceland the 51st state. Yeah, good luck with that. Because again, I Greenland is protected by the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark is a member of NATO. Greenlanders rather have NATO than the U.S. government. I don't blame them.
Oh,
I would too.
oh, Tin Man always talks about this, and I completely agree with him. But oh, I don't remember which one it is. If it's NATO, if it's the United Nations, but the Berlin Wall. Which one is that one connected to?
The Berlin Wall was right down the middle of Germany.
No, no. What I'm
Washington.
asking is the Berlin Wall was made for this organization, and whenever the Berlin Wall no longer exists, this organization was not supposed to as well. So was that
Yeah.
NATO or was that UN?
They were. I think it's probably NATO.
So that's basically what I'm stating here. Once again, this NATO organization is existing after their expiration date. Because the moment the Berlin Wall was thought about being taken down and the physical actions of removing the bricks from the wall and destroying the wall, the same thing should have happened to this organization. I can't call it a company because it's not a company, it's an organization.
Yes, it's more of an organization. It's a North American treaty.
But you see what
Russia.
I'm stating here, because they're not following their own rules, and they haven't been
No,
following their own rules. And
no.
now we're in this chaos that's going on. And about the Trump comment, you and I and Queen were all going to do a show sometime in the summer, and then I got busy. I got sent on vacation, haha. But the point behind that statement is that South Park came out and said what I was going to say in a more satiristic nature, which I'm not mad at South Park. I am not mad at South Park for them telling the country that 45 is not 47 before I did, because I got distracted.
We can still do that show.
I've lost those files. As of right now,
Uh,
I do not have the 3 different angles to prove my case.
Shit. Damn.
As of right now, I don't have that. But whenever I get my stuff back from my vacation, there's like 4 or 5 different videos that support what I'm stating, that, yeah, Trump didn't survive Butler, Pennsylvania, is one of the staple points that I'm putting down. And Batman even agrees with me whenever I state, yeah, that 45 and 47 are different. And the way he says it is like 45 was just regular Trump, regular baby Trump, and 47 is Super Saiyan 3 Trump. And that's what I'm getting down to.
Yeah.
That this, I'm not saying that he's overstepping what he's allowed to do. I'm just saying he's putting in a lot of work this time. And I don't think that they realize what they created and now no longer have control over.
No.
Because we all know on our side that Biden wasn't Biden. And I also have that video where the 2 decorated hearses were leaving the White House in January or March. No, it was June. It was a few months after the actual inauguration of Biden, where 2 decorated hearses were leaving the White House. Now, I don't think Secret Service men are going to have highly decorated hearses for their bodies. So who do you think these highly decorated hearses had in them? Well, obviously, the only obvious answer is Jill and Joe.
Exactly. But, I mean, it's like this, even right after that, it's getting to a point, and I'm gonna turn it enough. I'm gonna turn the volume up to 17 here, real quick,
because we've been at 13 and 15. Go ahead.
It's getting to a point that Donald Trump is really, really overstepping his global bounds. After Maduro got captured, him and his wife, we're all happy. Okay, we're all happy, but he did that for the oil executives because Maduro was the wall, even though he was the head of a narco state, and it really made no sense on why keep him. He's just another we call that guy what was his name from Mexico and shit.
I don't know. But did you hear about that attack? Did you hear what went down during that attack? So it was like eight soldiers or Marines, however you want to classify them. There was about 8 people that came out of a helicopter, and they had to be using AA-12s. They had to be using AA-12s by the way that the guy was explaining how many rounds he was hearing being fired from a single gun at one time, as well as we know about this. The public don't want to remember about this, about the fact of sonic weapons and sound frequencies weapons.
DWs.
Whenever they landed, there was some kind of ear-piercing sound that caused people's nose to bleed, give them headaches, made them defecate and vomit all over. This is why 8 people.
Okay, I get it.
You get what I'm saying? This is why 8 people were able to go in and come right back out, because it's like Trump says, we have weapons that they don't know about.
It's called direct energy weapons. Now,
that's the color blue. Yeah. That's why you paint your roof blue.
There's a program. There's a program that's created by Robert Duncan. Okay, the CIA's favorite boy. He created a program where a dear friend of mine from back east is a victim of this program. And there's a lot of people who I've talked to over the last couple of years or so before coming back on here on my channel here. I've done live feeds. I was a mod and talked about different things about the controversy of organized gang stalking, and it is factual. If you go onto Facebook, check out Brian too. Brian TW, right now. This guy was a defense contractor, and with with the ATF or somebody, and this guy was hit hard with the DWs. I mean, this guy was like, they were fucking with his heart, his lungs, his mind. They were really, really fucking him over, man. And he can't sleep. I mean, he traveled from place to place. And when it went to Sweden, they locked him up because he wanted an asylum, But it don't matter. It don't matter if you go to Sweden or Russia or whatever, They still hit the guy with direct energy weapons, The guy's in pain constantly, and he's living in his car. Okay, in his car, and now I hear about direct energy weapons being used on people in Venezuela. Why?
Yeah, it was some sort of sound frequency that went off in that immediate area. That remember back whenever they was the police version of this, just causes distress. But the military grade version of this literally causes nose bleeding, headaches, defecation, and vomiting.
The police version, it produces a lot of heat. So hot that you have to run 2-3 blocks just to get away from this shit, man. But yet, it's. I mean, this shit is a violation of the Geneva Convention.
But we, quote, can't prove any of this because we're, quote, conspiracy theorists, because we're talking about HAARP, direct energy weapons, sound weapons, and stuff like this that will soon be given to us publicly like everything else has, like these light refracting shields. That was kept from us for X amount of time before now they have it as civilian use. And that's what, bringing it back to the topic of, quote, the Mandela event, it's most likely a toy that they have under lock and key, and I call it a toy because whenever they're done with it and they're over it, they will give us their old toys to start playing with. Prime example, how are we communicating right now? DARPA created the internet. This is how we're communicating right now. DARPA had the internet in the 50s and 60s, and it wasn't released to the world until the late 80s. That just proves that they give us their old toys that they no longer find as useful as it once was.
Yeah, exactly. And why? The question is now. Question is, why do we have social media? How long has it been out? Okay, let's go back to the late 90s. Okay, right, late 90s. Social media wasn't created in the social media, okay, was not created in the 2000s. It was created in the late 90s as a test. There are only 2 social media platforms, right? That's it. No more, no less. It wasn't until MySpace got pretty big, in the in the 2000s. So MySpace was growing. I mean, it was like growing like crazy. It had celebrities, all those assholes and shit, people, and ordinary people like you and me. Even though I never used it, damn. But you don't see it no more. It's around, but it's owned by who? Justin Timberlake. Why? It's now a platform for musicians. Last year marked 20 years for Facebook. Okay, Facebook came around in 05. How long has this been around? YouTube been around? 20 years. This year, this year, it'll be 20 years. Great platform, I like it, but over the last 20 plus years, since say mid-July of 2016, holy crap, holy shit, censorship, mass channel purge, like what the fuck, man, So people, content creators like you and me are getting hit with misinformation, medical misinformation, community guideline strike, whatever it is, all that shit, like we're not really doing anything wrong. It's just the information that we're speaking about and talking about is scaring people who are following a huge ideology.
And that's the thing, man. That's the thing. And it's not that they're scared of the information, and you know this. They're scared of what will happen whenever the people decide that, like, I'm going to use the prisoner analogy here that Tin Man loves to use. Whenever the people decide to stop fighting amongst themselves and turn towards the prison guards and be like, you caused this. But
Exactly.
that's the thing. People don't want to wise up. They rather fight with their neighbor instead of figure out the reason why they're told not to like their neighbor.
Yeah. And there were about, I say, a few times that I mentioned my radio.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they don't like it whenever you talk about electronics that they have or will take off the market.
What's funny is I love the ham radio community. They're great, good people on TikTok and YouTube. Look, check this out. They'll say this will be banned by the end of 2025. The government doesn't want you to do this, but yet, what's funny is that they don't want you to do this, but yet they show you how to factory unlock your radio. And I'm sitting here, I'm laughing. I'm like, I'm laughing. Okay.
And you know why? They want to regulate all forms of communication.
This here is a Baofeng UV5R two-way AM/FM UHF VHF. The guy that created this radio got the Nobel Peace Prize. I love this thing, man. I love this thing.
Oh, you know how a couple years ago I was talking about that the Nobel Prize in Physics proves that reality isn't locally real, and a lot of people don't know what that means, but that's where we go back to the need to know. But moving forward from that, they literally last year, the 2025 Nobel Prize of Physics proves that quantum tunneling is real. And quantum tunneling is basically, okay, you have an electron going through a closed circuit. Well, there is a 1 in 100 chance that if you clip that circuit somewhere, that an electron will still pass through because of quantum tunneling.
Oh yeah. Well, here's a question that there's a lot of people for the last number of years are wondering. Okay, they're wanting Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, I don't want him to. He don't deserve it. Why did Obama receive the Nobel Peace Prize?
Because he was black, and I'll say it. You know, I say the things nobody else wants to say. It's because he was black.
They're giving an award to somebody whose wife has a bigger dick than he does.
That's another conversation since we want to bring that up. If Barry Saghetto, or whatever his real last name was, changed his name, what makes me not believe that Michelle Obama is actually Michael Obama? If one of them changed their names, what do you think the other one did?
Probably went through the change and
It turned their dick inside out. I'll say it.
no. I wouldn't say that. More like just like look like a chick, but kept her dick. If y'all remember Ellen show,
okay.
if y'all remember the Ellen show, it was
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, Ellen was an obvious lesbian, and obviously she's going to side with a now projecting as female individual.
Exactly. Michelle Obama is the first lady to ever have a bigger dick than her husband, and Kamala Harris is the OG hot tool girl. We all know how she got through her political career. I'll be here all day.
So how bad was that? How botched was that surgery they did to Bruce Jenner? That was a pretty botched surgery, huh?
I don't think it was a surgery. I think more like that his dick had a power of attorney.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'll tell you this much: being around that much pussy that I can't touch, that's considered really good looking. That's not going to make me want to be a woman anymore. Just like the fact that I wasn't born a woman, so I'm glad I don't have to deal with the things. But if I was born a woman, damn, I'd be a rich ass fucking woman. Especially this day and age, because I'd AI overlay my shit and make money off of that. I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't have shame, man. I wouldn't be on OnlyFools, though. I would not be in OnlyFools.
Oh man. Do you remember the show Titus?
Refresh me.
It's a show. It's a sitcom starring Christopher Titus.
No, I don't think I watched that. I just looked it up. I don't think I've seen that before. I think I saw it, but not know what it was.
It's a show. It's a show based on his life. His mom was a schizophrenic, and his dad was this beer drinking, cigarette smoking, philanderer, married 5 times, lost everything to each wife, each wife and shit.
So you can agree with back in the day you didn't have anything else to do, so might as well go find something to stick it in.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a producer of the show, but also stars in it too as well. Funny guy. I mean, he's a comedian. A stand-up comedian, very funny guy, and he holds nothing back. You know, like funny dude, like the guy, big fan of his. Christopher Titus is, I mean, the guy did a show on his life about his mom and dad, basically. You know, his mom killed her first husband, killed her last husband, and his dad had an accident walking a blowjob, dude. You know, and stuff. And like,
Sex me to the ER.
yeah, but he faked a heart attack. The heart attack was fake, but because he crashed his truck while busting a nut in a chick's mouth. You know, like fuck. You know, and he ended up bribing the cop to do his car because the cop came up and goes to keep your dad from going to jail. I need you to pay, I need you I need you to put flames on my Viper. And it's funny show. It's on YouTube now. I've been watching that for weeks, man. It's fucking funny, dude. But
Can I see the bottom part of your shirt, man? I wasn't able to catch what I see. Welcome to camp. Quit your bitching. If you're not a happy camper, take a hike. Good job. You always have the most epic shirts, man. They are awesome.
oh yeah, man. Look, yeah. I got one that says I made you a batch of shut the fuck up cakes. My dad saw that. He started laughing, dude, and stuff. So, and so I've been kind of just turned the big 5. Oh man,
You're old.
halfway there. Halfway there.
Oh, yeah. We've discussed this before. My mom and you have the same birthday. 56. I think that's 70. Yeah, that's 70. She'd be this year.
Yeah. Hey, chill out. Yeah. Next week, I start my driving training. I passed.
What?
I passed the test. Got my permit, and next week.
Oh yeah, you're like me. You never went and got a driver's license whenever you was a kid.
Yeah, but I am. Here. Yeah. I passed the test, and I got my permit, and I was like happy because I studied for months and months and months. So October, went to DMV, took the test, passed. But you're only allowed to do 3 tests a year. So I thought I could do this. So I failed 2 tests and passed the 3rd one. Whew, thank God, And so next week I take the big plunge driving school, and I'm like really, really just stoked, dude. Happy, man, happy. And
Awesome.
It's three tests, 2 hours. Shit.
My bad thing is I'm not good at reverse and I'm not good at maintaining speed.
Oh, shit.
I'm either slower than grandma or a bat out of hell.
just lucky that grandma ain't from Pasadena, man. Driving like a little old lady from Pasadena, man. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Reverend, I'm gonna head out.
All right, man.
What you say?
We're gonna go ahead and end this live feed here on Rumble and YouTube. And thanks, my good buddy here, Chris Zero, for appearing here as a guest here. And anybody that's new to this channel, like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification, and always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys, and we'll all see you in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed. Put it bless. And trips.